And coming up into today's episode, man, we got to talk about this Cleveland media. How many media personalities are they going to let come on 92.3 The Fan and just say anything they want to say about Shedeur Sanders and think they're going to get away with it? The latest person that made an appearance on the afternoon drive on the weekend on 92.3 The Fan was Chris Fedor. He was on there with Nick Wilson. And he got out of pocket. He really got out of pocket. To me personally, my opinion, he went on a racist rant about Shedeur Sanders. And Nick Wilson, he wanted to check him, and he should have just kept going in and checking him. But he kind of held back. But he debunked some of his stuff that he was saying, but he should have went all in on him. And we're going to talk about it coming up right after this.
Yo, what's poppin', people? It's your boy Big Snacks, and I'm putting y'all on right now. My boy K-Sap, Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Hey, let's go. Hey, K-Sap on the mic, better lock in. Lock in. Simply Ball Dropping, we ain't stopping. Pound talk, heavy dog, pound rocking. Shedeur in the pocket, whole league watching. Coach Prime, Motion, Colorado Heat. Big time pressure, still won't retreat. Nothing dangerous, crashing glass with the dream. WNBA smoke, we bring flames to the screen. Real takes only, no fake, no pretend. Tell a friend, tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. Like, comment, subscribe, bring the whole crew in. Hashtag salute, y'all know what to do. I see everybody in the comment section too. Salute, K-Snap, Simply Ball Drop, Big Snack stamped it. Let's get it.
Well, guys, man, we got to talk about this, man. We got to talk about this nonsense, man. I don't think these Cleveland media personnels that be coming on these shows know anything about football, man. I really don't, man. That's just my personal opinion, man. Because some of their takes is straight asinine, man. Some of their takes is just out of left field, man. And I've always been on this notion, and we've always said it, anybody but Shedeur. That's the train that they on. Anybody but Shedeur. They're going to do anything in their power to let their voice be heard so people can hear them loud and clear about what they think about Shedeur Sanders and how they just discredit him for everything and make it look worse than what it appears. And I tell you, man, we did a show today. Me, Auntie Faye, and Big Snacks. Shout out to Auntie Faye and Big Snacks for putting it down and dropping heat the way they drop heat all the time. And we had our man G. Bush pull up on the live and giving us a shout out. And shout out to G. Bush, man, the Godfather, setting the example and doing things right. And we following suit because what we do as this new media, this new Cleveland, we're going to give it to you real, raw, and uncut. And we're going to tell you like it is. Because the narratives they out there generating into the stratosphere, downright terrible. G. Bush appeared on UCSS because it was a whole quorum about Shedeur Sanders. How is he going to handle if he don't be quarterback one and he's a backup? And we heard the things that Jason Lloyd had to say about can he be a backup quarterback? How is he going to handle that? And basically, Jason Lloyd said Shedeur is going to be a cancer in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Guys in the locker room don't respect him, and G. Bush had to put him to bed. Now we got the likes of Chris Fedor coming out saying some things about Shedeur Sanders that is very alarming. And to me, that comes from hate. It comes from hatred. I understand this is football. You can have your personal opinions. But the way he was trying to drive it home, he went on a racist rant. I want you guys to listen to what Chris Fedor said on the weekend afternoon drive on 92.3 The Fan with Nick Wilson. And Nick Wilson tried to get at him, but he kind of fell back a little bit. But let's listen to what Chris Fedor said, man, because he went on a racist rant all about Shedeur Sanders, man. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
myopia that prevents me from watching Shedeur Sanders play quarterback on Sundays. I would rather poke myself in the eyeballs repeatedly than watch him try to play quarterback at the NFL level.
I think that's an insanely hot take.
It's not.
Yes.
He was statistically one of the worst quarterbacks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, and I think I've heard everyone pirate that take, and the truth is...
It's not pirating when it's actually true.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, parroting it. There, that's a different one. Everyone has said it, and then you actually put on the tape, he really wasn't as bad as the stats say he was.
Yes, he was.
No,
he made
wasn't.
a couple of plays downfield with his arm.
Not a couple.
Every now and
made a
then he
couple per game.
extended plays. He was terrible. He had more interceptions than touchdowns. He had a terrible EPA per play, terrible success rate, terrible completion percentage over expected. Was one of the worst players that played quarterback in the NFL last year. And the only reason why he looked good is because you were comparing him to Dylan Gabriel.
And you were comparing him to Joe Flacco, who struggled in the same offense, who looked worse. Looked as bad, if you want to go that way, in the same offense.
Has no feel for pressure.
Wow.
None whatsoever.
Disagree.
None.
I disagree with the
Wilson,
no.
you should've
I disagree with the
Holds on
absolute.
to the ball too long. Tries to make the big play.
Did you see the offensive line he was playing with? Did you see the skill players he was playing with?
Always the offensive line. Always the skill players.
Not always.
Never the
in
guy.
This one.
Never the guy, just not being good.
You literally
what y'all
said
say.
yesterday that it's the worst playmaker room in the NFL.
It is.
And that's what you're holding him accountable for?
No, not
you
at
couldn't
all.
elevate those guys?
I'm evaluating him, and that's the hard thing about a disastrous situation like the Browns is that you evaluate each thing independent of the other stuff, which is difficult. Of course, it's difficult. But if you do that with Shedeur Sanders, you see one of the worst quarterbacks that you've ever seen.
And he was a 5th-round pick, and he would you cannot convince me that he was put in a good situation and that he didn't
I wouldn't say that he was.
That he didn't make hay compared to everything else. He also happened to be on teams that won games, going 3-4 in 7 games. That was more competitive than what Dylan or Joe did the previous 10 games.
That's the mark. Be better than Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco?
Yes, in that scenario with a head coach that's about to get fired.
No,
yes.
It's how do you stack up to the other quarterbacks in the NFL? That's the question.
Name me another quarterback that would have been better last year in that. Name me like give me like a Baker
Mac
Mayfield.
Jones would have been better.
I don't think so at all.
In that situation.
No, look at the last time Mac Jones was in that situation. It was the year before they drafted Drake May, and there's a reason they were able to draft Drake May. They were a 3-win team with Mac Jones that year.
Yes. And it wasn't all him. Team record.
Oh, wait. So now it's a team record?
I'm not saying
Shedeur?
anything about Shedeur. I'm talking about his performance. I'm not talking about what he did from a win-loss perspective. I'm not talking about all of those things that you're talking about. I'm talking about his performance. His performance specifically. That's it.
Man, you heard what Chris Fedor said, man. Me personally, I'm going to stick to it, and I ain't going to shy away from it. That was a racist rant right there. That is hatred and racism. I mean, y'all can call it what y'all want to call it. Y'all can get down in the comments section. Y'all can scold me. I don't care what y'all do. But this stuff got to stop, man. I mean, they only drive home emphasis when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. You didn't talk about the bad play of Dylan Gabriel, the bad play of Joe Flacco. You didn't talk about the bad play of Jackson Dart. Kenny Pickett, when he got his chance out there in Las Vegas, how he stunk it up. You only wanted to say this about Shedeur Sanders. Talk about poking your eyeballs out before you want to see Shedeur out on the field. Come on, guys. Look at the big picture, man. Like Snack said today on Sports Life Trill. Conspiracy, they trying to get Shedeur out of there, man. But it ain't going to happen, man. It's not going to happen, man. That's why we always do these videos. And we said it today in that live, that we had these videos about Chris Fedor cooked up in the chamber and ready to be released and dropped. And this is what's happening. We're going to release these videos. We're going to get these videos out there because this stuff needs to stop. And G. Bush said it loud and clear, man. It's okay if you just don't like somebody, but the lengths y'all go to slander this man's name and undermine everything he does and say all the false stuff that y'all say, stuff got to be stopped. We keep receipts. And you know, me and Snacks got into it in the back and forth when he was talking about Ken Carman stepping up now, finally realizing, trying to go at folks, man. I can't play that field, man. I understand where Snacks is coming from. He said that's growth, but nah, because I've heard Ken Carman last year. I got the receipts, man. It's just like Nick Wilson, man. He's a little bit more reserved than everybody else, but him trying to stand up for Shedeur, he didn't go all the way in like he was supposed to. He was supposed to go at Chris Fedor's neck when he was talking about that, but he was just a little bit laid back. He should have went all in. Let me get on that show. Let me call in. And like Auntie Faye said, let me find a number to call in, man. And y'all gonna have problems. Y'all gonna disconnect my call because I remember somebody called in and wanted to speak to Jason Lloyd, and Jason Lloyd could not respond back to this guy. Only thing he said was, all you gotta do is check my resume. I've been doing this for 25 years. And that's where he left it at. See, they don't want me to call in, boy. It's like Boosie Badass said, I'll set this bitch off. But hey, this gotta stop, man. This stuff gotta stop, man. This is some crazy stuff that's going on in Cleveland, man. Anybody but Shedeur, man. Y'all get down in the comments section.
I see everyone in the comments section. #salute. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you will know every time I drop a hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And that will wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one.